My name is Zell Brooks, and this is a video diary, I guess, and I'm going to be documenting my journey on SSRIs or antidepressants. So I don't even know if I'm going to show anybody this. It just really depends, but I am 33 years old and I have never been on any type of medication ever. And this was a really big, scary step for me to decide to start taking SSRIs. And I think it's two things mostly for me. One of which being that I just, to put it simply and raw, I did not grow up in a medication household. And I'm not saying that like in a bad way or a good way or a way to like offend anybody, but you know, besides like cold medicine or a headache or anything like that, that's just not something that my parents did. And I'm not saying I disagree or agree or anything like that. But my parents are very hardworking people and they have faced like a lot of adversity. So I think that the idea of their kids or one of their children needing any type of medication was just so foreign. You know, I grew up in like, you know what you need to do, you get up and you do it. And that is absolutely how I have navigated my life thus far. But the past 6 years, I will say I've also always struggled mentally. I've been in and out of therapy since I was a child. And well, not a child, but a teenager. And I think that at this point I know I'm growing and I'm doing a lot of things that are natural steps, but the way my therapist and my doctor have described it to me is, you know, it doesn't have to be like a high dose. I'm on the lowest dose, and just to be clear, I'm taking Lexapro. It's just something that can more so help and be an aid versus a crutch. So for me, I just think like I've tried so many other things, you know, and I think that I get a lot of like, oh, well, make sure you go outside and make sure you work out. And I do all of those things. And it's still not, I still feel like a cloud following me, and I still feel the brain fog and everything like that. So I, you know, just wanted to try something different. And I think the other half of me that was maybe a little bit hesitant to it was the fact that I feel like now it's a lot more normalized. And, you know, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, you're on antidepressants. I feel like so many people are, and so many people are open about it. And I think that that's really great. It definitely helped me, you know, maybe get rid of some of the stigma that I had surrounding them. But I also think that for me, it might have worked in like the opposite way of like, okay, well, maybe I don't need it because they've talked about like this, and this, and I don't fit that persona. But the past 3 years really of my life have been a whirlwind. And if like we want to get really down into it, it's more like the past 5 to 6. I got married and divorced within a year and a half. So I wasn't even married a full 2 years. And for me, like I'm a person that brushes things off because I am always like, oh, things could be worse. Things could be worse. I come from divorced parents. I know a lot of people that had divorced parents and are divorced themselves. Like none of this between the divorce and the SSRIs are groundbreaking things whatsoever. But it really took my doctor like telling me like, that is still, even though you had no kids and you know, weren't married that long, it's still a traumatic event and you need to process it. And I definitely have. And he was like, it can take a toll on you whether you realize it or not. And I've spent so long like trying to like put on a face of like, nothing bothers me, everything's fine, and I'll lightly talk about mental health and things like that. But after that, like my divorce, and then life, you know what I mean? Things that are life, friendship breakups, things that I'm absolutely well equipped to deal with, but they do take a toll on you. And I think that that's another thing that, you know, sometimes I talk to some people and they're like, well, that's just life and it's just life. And it definitely is. But I'm willing to try to see if this aid can help, you know, with some things a little bit more. I think in the Black community also, there's a lot of stigma around medications and mental illness and things like that, that we're still not really comfortable with talking about amongst each other. So again, I know none of this is groundbreaking. There are plenty of people on SSRIs, but I just wanted to make this video diary to see if maybe, you know, somebody else who is feeling the way I felt about it would, you know, find it and find solace in it. So I'm taking Lexapro. It's only a 10, and this is today's date is July 28th. So I took my first one on July 26th. I've taken 2 so far. The directions said morning or night, and I'll just be honest. I took the 2 at night, and I'm going to be switching to morning, so I'm not going to take it tonight, and I'm going to take it first thing in the morning. The past 2 nights I have fallen asleep. I've had the drowsiness and everything, but then I wake up at like 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning, and I'm completely awake for the next 4 or 5 hours, and then I'll fall back asleep for another hour, and like that's really like having an effect on me, just because once I'm sleeping, I would like to stay asleep. And apparently this is really can like make you really sensitive to the heat. And I live somewhere that is experiencing an extreme heat wave right now. So that is definitely another thing. I am definitely really, really hot. But I think I'd be hot regardless. So this is, again, I'm just going to do some check-ins. I think that my doctor said you should give it like a good 2 weeks to a month to really start to feel the effects. Mentally, I don't feel like I don't feel any different mentally. So I will just do another check-in and, you know, go on this journey with me. I know that some of like when I put this out, some of my family members may be like, and hell, my mom may be like, I don't understand, like, do what you do, but I don't understand why you need to like put it out there and things like that. And like I said in the intro video, it's not uncommon, but it's also not common. And because if it were, like I said, I struggled with, you know, even getting on the medication. I had all of these things in my mind. And plus, again, just to be repetitive, I feel like when you like in the day and age of the internet, and so many people are like, yeah, of course I'm on antidepressants. Of course I'm on antidepressants. But there's so many things that go into it. And I feel like I haven't seen talked about. I'm not saying that you know, breaking any barriers, but I just haven't seen talked about. And I would like to document my journey. So that is that. Again, I will let y'all know. One of the side effects I am definitely feeling, besides the sleeping, is I guess you're more susceptible to heat. And that is definitely something I am experiencing right now. I just got back from the gym and I had to cut my workout in half. Well, maybe not in half. I could have done like 25 more minutes, but I was so hot and I'm like a little bit nauseous as well, but not the nauseous that is like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna throw up right now. It's just like sitting right here maybe, and then I will burp and I feel a little bit better, but then I get hot again and I just get a little like, ugh. And I'm slightly dizzy, which I did see on the side effects list as well. So I will just monitor those and see how they are, and anything else. If it persists, I will call my doctor and I'll like show y'all that conversation maybe. But yeah, so that's my check-in for today. Hello. Today is day 6 of me officially taking Lexapro. It is Friday, August 1st. I don't know if you can see that. Can't remember what I said the last time I spoke to you all. I guess I could look at it. But since I've switched over to taking the medication in the morning, that feels a lot better for me than nighttime. I have not had any issues sleeping since I started taking it in the morning, and that is absolutely 100% the way to go for me. I figured I would, I have the paper right here, go through some of the side effects, the most common side effects, and just kind of explain how I've been feeling. So trouble sleeping, obviously not since I started taking it in the morning. Nausea, sweating, tiredness, and then sleepiness. Tiredness and sleepiness, same thing. I don't know. Anyways, and then the rest of those are sex related, which I just haven't. We won't be going too in detail about that, obviously. It's nice to keep some things close to your chest. We're adults in a relationship. We have not had a situation where I have had to, you know, that's become an issue yet. I'll just leave that there. But as far as the rest of them, the nausea is really, really, really what's really been getting to me, I think. I think in the last clip I told y'all that I either cut my workout early, I think. So I've cut one of my workouts early, or cut it off, yeah. And then the other one, I drove to the gym, and when I got there, I was just so nauseous that I was like, I can't even freaking go in here. And so I drove to the gym and drove back home. That has calmed down a little bit. You know what's weird about it is I will be nauseous and it'll be sitting like right here, and then it'll probably last for like an hour, then I'll burp and it'll be fine for like 20 minutes and then it'll come back. It's like I said, it's been getting better, but I am just like, that can go away at any time. The sweating, yes, it's been very hot here in St. Louis, like I said, and this is just not making it any better. I will say the heat wave finally broke, which I thank God, but I'm still very warm, so that's another one. And then mentally, I don't know how I feel, you know what I mean? I don't know if I mentioned it in this series so far, but I got fired about a week and a half ago from my job. And so some of the mental stuff that I'm feeling, I can't really say 100% whether it's my feelings from getting unexpectedly let go from a job that I put a lot of time and effort and heart and soul into, or if it's from, you know, taking the medication, right? What I can tell you is that I had a moment where I was by myself, and just to preface this, I'm not really a crier, but if I'm by myself, I will cry and I'll just let the tears flow. I was by myself. I was letting my mind wander about something. I don't even remember what. And I felt like that would have been the time for me to cry, and that I wanted to cry, but then it was like something stopped me. So that was weird. I was like, I also have been feeling very exhausted to the point where, like, I haven't really gotten dressed. Today was the first day that I put like actual clothes on that were not gym clothes, and left the house to not just work out and then come straight home. So I went and ran errands, and halfway, like, small tasks are feeling like a huge burden to me, if that makes sense. And that is something that comes along with depression. So I don't know if that is, you know, what I'm experiencing, or if it's a side effect of the medication. I had a couple of things to do, a few things to go get, and halfway through it, it's a little bit more heightened though. So I was like, I want to go home. Like, I'm going to freak out if I just don't stop all of this right now and go home. And I pushed through, obviously, because I had to. But yeah, that feeling is very interesting to me. I'm a person whose like social battery runs out really quick as well, like the older I get, but I was by myself. It's not a social battery thing. And then the other thing is I I'm a very, very anxious person. I feel anxious, like, but it's like my anxiety is like getting ready. It's like a situation where would be anxious, but then it feels like it's like, if that makes sense. I don't know. This is maybe, I mean, this is partly why I'm doing this, to see if anybody else has felt these things as well, but that's where I'm at. I think maybe we could have Megan, who is my partner, come on and just kind of talk about her experience with me and see if she sees any changes or anything like that. This definitely affects her as well. We live together. We have life together. But yeah, I will also update y'all when I have the talk with my mom. I think like I know how I want to approach it, obviously. And again, like I'm an adult. She just wouldn't appreciate if I put this out there and she didn't know. So yeah, that is my day 6 update, and I will talk to y'all soon. So today is Monday, August 11th. And yesterday, Sunday, marked the official 2 weeks of me on Lexapro, and I feel like my body is starting to normalize to it more. Again, I'm still having some of the hot flashes and everything, but it's not as intense as it was when I first started. I don't know. After this, you'll see Megan, my girlfriend, kind of just talk about how she feels like she's seen a difference since I've been on it. But I did want to give the update of how the conversation with my mom went. It went better than I could have ever expected. Again, like, I'm an adult, I can take whatever I want, but the whole reason I wanted to talk to her is because we are so close, and I'm going to be putting this on the internet. So I think also now that I've been recording this and kind of had time to relish on it, and I originally I thought I wanted this to be my journey on Lexapro, but after talking to my mom and, you know, just realizing, spending time with my family and realizing a lot of things, I think this is just going to be my journey overall, because I have, over the last couple of years, I feel like been rewarded a fresh start in so many aspects of my life, from my job and my relationships, both platonic and romantic. And one thing that, while I was talking to my mom, or a couple of things, and she helped me realize is, one, I do have the habit of doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And one thing that I actually told her, because that's something that she is always preaching to me, like, you got to do something different, try, see what else is out there, and, you know, just change your environment or things like that. And that is kind of how I approached the conversation with her when it came to me taking Lexapro, which was, you know, I do all of the things, you know, pull myself up by my bootstraps. I work out. I try and stay in a positive mindset. And the Lexapro, the medication, is me trying something different. She really understood that when I put it like that. And again, I think that I'm lucky. I'm 33. I'm not right in the grave, God willing, but I've been lucky enough to be able to start over and over again. So, and one thing my mom pointed out also was how I used to be when I was a kid, and she just told me, you know, you're so creative, you would always like face things and be so fearless. And she said that she feels like the world kind of just, you know, in life has just beat me down. And I've gone through a lot in a little bit of time, which is another thing that she told me. And she said, you know, she was like, more than some things, more than like most teenagers and people have been through at the time that you're at. So more than anything, I think I realized, along with taking the Lexapro, I'm going to be making an active attempt to approach things differently. And just, not that I'm like, oh, I've been a shit person, right? But really try to change my approach at life and change my approach at my mental health. So that's more so what we will be talking about on here. Like I said, it started off as one thing and then here we are. So this is going to be the first episode of many in this series, and I'm really excited. I think, this is the 14-day mark, and I think my doctor said it will take about a month to really be able to see a difference or feel a difference. So I'm excited to continue on with this. Excited to give you all my updates, and if you have any of the same experiences or you are just kind of lost in the same way and I was, hopefully you find some comfort and some camaraderie in this series. And yeah, I'm excited to take y'all on this journey with me. So like I said, I figured it would be a good idea to have Megan, who is my partner, my girlfriend, on so she can kind of talk about any changes she's seen in me since I started taking Lexapro, since she is the person that lives with me and sees me and talks to me the most often. And again, mainly just like changes in my like mental health or just in me in general since I started taking it. Everything.
I think you're happier.
You think I'm happier?
I think you don't worry as much about little things. I also think you're happier now that you are moving on to another job.
That is fair. Do you think that, how would you describe my like mental health, like overall, how would you describe my mental health before I started taking Lexapro?
Before? I felt like you were just more anxious. You always thought the worst of the worst of situations of anything, whether it be like drivers on the road or anything in our personal life or whatever. And now you're not as much, I think. You're just more chill. But yeah, I think you're just more easygoing. Does that make sense?
Do you think I wasn't easygoing before?
No, I'm not saying that. I think you're just more uptight about, you're more, I don't know, it's like you've like let your shoulder, like you're just like. Yeah.
What would you say has been, I mean, it's hard because it's like I had this big life change of changing jobs, right? Unexpectedly. And then, what was it, probably like 2 days later, I
started it?
No, because I started on a Sunday. Remember, I picked up the prescription.
It was a few days.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't say, like, this was like a gradual change too. And like, this didn't, like, you took a pill and it changed you overnight.
Right.
This has been like a little bit more at a time, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What would you like to see from like what's one thing that you want for me as far as my mental health and just like my like overall?
What do I want?
Yeah, how would you like to see?
Oh, well, you're meant to be healthy and happy. And I think this helps, honestly.
Yeah.
You're less stressed about little things, you know what I mean? Which it's okay to be stressed about little things, but
do you think
where it was making you tense and, stress, like you were wearing your stress.
Yeah. Do you think that when I get another job, is that something you're worried about, that I'm going to go back to like being like?
No, because I think it's all about the environment that you work in.
So you don't think that the last environment I was working in was the best?
Not for your mental health, no.
You can tell the truth. You can say, if you're saying it, I'm not, so I can't get in trouble.
Not during, but after all this has happened, yes. So, but I think having you on this and you've already been taking it and then you start a new job, it'll just be a healthier job and mindset for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken any?
No, never.
Medication?
Nope.
Do you know anybody that has?
Like in my family?
No, just in general. You don't have to say their name.
I mean,
okay.
I have a lot of friends.
Okay.
That take stuff, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Milo.
Oh my God!
He's like a little bit.
Oh my God! Okay. Well, we'll keep doing these little updates and hearing from Megan. I think
it's also on your vlogs and your podcasts and your Snapchats or whatever. Even just like talking, you're more lit. I think like you're more like lit up. than what you used to be.
Oh, like when you see me do my content and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're more
that's...
like enthused. Like, not like, oh my God, I have to do this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, so I think it's all good.
For now. All right. So obviously on this journey and documenting it, we'll keep checking in with my Megan, and she'll let us know how she's feeling.
Again, he's doing it again.
Oh my God. Well, there's no lack of comedy around this house, that's for sure.
Listen.
All right, love you.
Love you.